What I want to talk about is writing learning outcomes, and more specifically, using behaviorally based language in terms to provide a sound basis for instruction and assessment. We want to consider what's the essential takeaway for the course, what is the absolute minimum thing that we want students to be able to do at the end of the course. We want to think about higher versus lower level cognitive skills. So we don't want to just focus on memorization types of facts or things like that, but having students actually know how to do things, to analyze, to be critical, to do these kind of deeper cognitive skills. We want to focus on observable skills and behavior. We can say that people should know something, but how are they going to be able to demonstrate that? The other great thing we want to consider is to communicate clear expectations to the students so that they know what's expected of them. And then finally, we want these things to be capable of being assessed. In other words, they have to be measurable. Here's Bloom's taxonomy that kind of looks at higher versus lower order thinking skills. At the lower level is just pure knowledge or remembering. We go up to comprehension and understanding. And at the highest levels, we have things like analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, actually creating things. I always like to look at some verbs to put together my learning outcomes. So this is a nice little table, and what it does is it gives some possible verbs you can use in developing your outcomes that kind of address Bloom's various levels of the taxonomy. So if you're interested in just very low-level skills, you might ask people to define something or describe it or list it. Up a little higher, perhaps in application, you might ask them to calculate or apply, to practice, predict. At the analysis level, you might have people be able to distinguish or to question or separate or diagram things. At the synthesis level, we might ask students to formulate something, to organize, to plan, prepare, design. And at the highest level, we have kind of a critical evaluation level, and in that case, we might ask people to appraise things, assess them, critique them, measure, judge, recommend, test, so on and so forth.